Hey everybody, welcome to part 27 of Let's Play with Fire 2. When we last left off, we had just gotten enlisted, I suppose, into the rebellion against the Church of St. Eva. It's a ragtag group on the other side of the world, are led by a Warren tribesman named Tyga. He has sent us here to the Thieves Guild, or the Theives Tomb, to locate their sponsor who's gone missing, and as well as help her find this treasure that's supposedly buried here. Give them the money they need to fund their, I guess you call it the war effort. So the Thieves Tomb is guarded as you'd expect. But we have new enemies here. The Anubis. Nothing too special compared to the other mummies you've seen. They have rotten breath. In fact, pretty much all the enemies down here, they try to make you into a zombie. They're also able to cast freeze. Other than that, nothing too much to worry about. These guys don't seem too concerned that there's monsters floating around. I guess if you don't move, you're safe from random battles. That's how it works. The D-spiders, I think it's a demon spider, I guess. They don't do anything. They're incredibly lame monsters. They don't really fit in with anyone else here. At best, they'll do a regular attack for decent damage, but that was needed because no defense anyway. And usually they just run away. But other than that, that's all they have. Regular attacks or run away. I feel like they should have had some sort of poison move or something. So everyone here seems to think the Thieves Tomb... Oh yeah! The Thieves Tomb is too difficult for them. Apparently there's traps everywhere. One of which is these moving pits, as you can see. And we'll take one of them. We'll say it was on purpose, even though not necessarily. I'll explain all those faces later. For now, we want all these treasures. And I'm putting Nina in the front to show off something silly. I mentioned at one point that if she falls into a pit, she's able to fly back out. Except for these. The one time where it'd be really important to have, considering all other pits, you can kind of determine when they'll show up, and they're stationary. This is the one pit where she can't fly out of it. Anyway, we got all the treasures that were up there, so it's a good time to fall anyway. The stairs just take us down here. This old man will explain what's going on with the floor here. So basically, the face that when you have a random battle, depending on which face you're standing on when the battle occurred, you'll get a different effect as soon as the battle's over. I've got a list here. Basically, the angry face is always bad. Happy face is always good. The healthy face is always good as well. The weird face, they say anything can happen. The best I've seen is one good thing and everything else is bad. So basically 50-50. Half the face is good, half the face is bad. But I'll explain that a little more after this battle because we got a new enemy, the Sheaf. Like I said, everyone tries to make you a zombie down here. Not quite sure why. Nina's on Tiger Sword duty. Chiefs aren't too difficult. They do get some pretty powerful crits sometimes, but usually they use zombies, so not too much to worry about. And here's where Nina does take effect. One of the bad things that happen with the angry faces is you'll see you fell into a trap, and the little pit will open up. If you have Nina in the lead, you don't have to worry about it. The pit will just take you to the stairs to the north. It takes you to a small room. All there are is stairs, so you just come back up to this room. Basically, it just makes you reset the room. So it can be frustrating if you're almost out of here. And then you hit the pit and you go back, but that won't happen. Alternatively, if you're on a happy face, there's a chance that you'll find the shortcut and you'll automatically be teleported to the next room, which is where you're trying to get to. I kept this fight in to show that they do have rotten breath. Really nothing else important here. a weird crit from Cat there. Didn't actually say it was a slam attack, but it was. I wonder if that has something to do with her being a zombie. Anyway, we'll just let him kill himself. Nobody attacks Ryu unless you want to get counterattacked. Also, what one of the happy faces can do, fully recover you. Very nice. Tell you what, I'll throw a list at the end of this description. That would be best. And, well, I don't know what happened there, but it was telling us that another trap door opened up. And Nina was flying out. I think something happened in my video editing. Unfortunately, as cool as this room is, this is the only room that has all these faces. I felt like they could have done more here. Oh, and I wanted to show this off too. After that last random battle against Chiefs, they happened to drop a Demon Dagger. Demon Dagger is the ultimate weapon for Sten, so if you're using Sten, this is the place to hunt for it. I thought it was funny because I wasn't even trying, and the drop rate is pretty rare as you would expect for an ultimate weapon. So, now if we want to use Sten, we are ready to go. It's kind of hard to see through these bars, but this woman looks familiar. Is this the sponsor? I guess we'll help her out. It is. It's Patty the Thief. Can't remember. This is our third run-in with her, I think. Well, once again, she's taken all the glory, even though we kind of saved her life there. Or not, maybe. So she can't figure out where the switch is. Maybe we can help her look a little bit. If we can beat her to it, maybe we'll be the ultimate. Let's have Bao take a look. He's a fellow thief. She's a fellow thief. Just a fun little thing there. For some reason, I guess maybe because Nina was in the lead when we entered the room, so it made it she. Sure. Anyway, we found the secret switch, and in this new room is, they call it the evidence. I think they mean, like, evidence of a great treasure. Oh, but, thanks, Patty. Again, she picked our pockets clean, and she's gonna run back and take all the glory. Oh ho, Bao's used to it. Let it roll off your back, don't worry. We're just going to walk into here so we can use exit. In the previous rooms, exit isn't available yet. So. Goodbye, many faces. It was a cool dungeon, but I think a little bit underused. Well, we've saved the sponsor, and she took the treasure, so we completed our mission, I suppose. Maybe we'll get some credit. We're going to head on back to Cotland. Keeping Nina and Cat in the party. Cat is because she's our only way to get in and out of this town, and Nina because she has the bird to fly us there. Yo, where's the boss? Okay, so they kind of acknowledge that we helped. Maybe Patty's warming up to us. This is getting weird again. Alrighty. I'm kind of agreeing with Cat here. Taiga is a very strange man, and honestly, makes people feel uncomfortable. He's socially awkward, I suppose. I don't know, just the way he behaves seems highly inappropriate. Anyway, he's gonna pick a fight with us now. Why? Because he thinks Cat is in love with me. Are you and Cat really just friends? I think so. Just friends. We haven't been hanging out too much this adventure. Doesn't mean I'm okay with you getting together, though. I don't think she wants to be with you. You're crazy. And he agrees. So here we get the ultimate boss battle. Taiga is unkillable, as I will try to demonstrate. And he hits pretty hard, too. Even with the Empire Sword, we can't put up a good fight. So, much like other battles we've seen throughout this game, you are expected to lose this one. It's not possible to win, but I wanted to make it look good. We're fighting for Cat's honor here, so we could put up a good fight. So even with the powered up Ryu with the Empire Sword, still not doing much. He's wailing away on us with 80 to 100 damage each turn. But we unleash a dragon on him. Doesn't even scratch him. I don't think he needs this whole resistance. We'll just send him into the church. He can kill off everybody. We tried. We really tried. Cat's facing a moral dilemma. She's actually, as she's promised Taiga, she will hang out with him now. So that makes us down one party member. Patty doesn't fight, she stays out of danger. Thankfully the rocks are broken, otherwise we'd be trapped in this town forever. And we'd never help out the rebellion. So, we're supposed to head south to the Church of Bando to help everyone with the attack. However, first we gotta get a new party member. So, we're just gonna make a quick trip to Farmtown. And we have a damage dealer in Ryu, a healer with Bao, spellcaster with Nina. That means we need a tank. And who's our tank? Jean. Always Jean. We are going to switch it up just a little bit, because we're going to put him in scramble formation, and so Ryu's our biggest damage dealer, so we'll put him in the front so he gets the biggest damage bonus. And Gene will be in second position, so he'll still take a lot of the hits. Alright, now we're going to head south. Just follow the land as it curves around and kind of comes back. It's a small church on a peninsula in the middle of nowhere. Everybody else is already here. Alrighty, well, let's talk to him. Father Manson. Oh. Oh, this place was empty when they got here. He must. I'm with you. What's going on here? This was supposed to be a big, popular area for the worshippers. How come it's abandoned now? Maybe. How you doing, cat? Haven't seen you in a while. Well, if team leader, talk to team leader. Major damage. Both capitalized, I like that. Cat's frustrated. A stroke of serendipity. As luck would have it, she's managed to find a secret passage. Well, if the place is empty, and there's nowhere they could have gone, I think this might be the way they went. Excuse me, buddy. There we go. And Taiga's sending us down there instead of going himself because he's claustrophobic, as you remember. Well, there's 5, 6, 7 skulls right off the bat. That's a bad sign. And here comes this brute. I think we're on the right track. I think we're hot on the trail of this Father Manson. So here's a mini-boss, the Footman. He only has 2 things going for him. One is an incredibly weak regular attack, and the second, which after he takes about 200 damage or so, is Cure 2. And once he hits that threshold of whatever the damage is, he will do nothing but cast Cure 2 for the rest of the fight. It's very, very disappointing for a supposedly henchman bodyguard. He does not have much going for him. So we'll boost up Ryu's offense, try to finish this as fast as possible. It's not very exciting, I admit. I will say this, the Footman does have pretty good defense. If we didn't have Ryu's Empire Sword and offense up, we would be taking a lot longer to do the damage. But still, you can't really win a war of attrition in this game. Eventually you'll run out of AP, or we'll just be doing more than 100 damage each turn. So there he goes again, Cure 2. Nina does 1. Ryu shows them how it's done. 628. Good job. So that's 1 bodyguard down. Let's see if we can go farther in. There are regular monsters here. Spirits and Ghosts are the name of the game. You will find no living enemies down here, which is probably a bad sign. The D-Spirit acts the same way as most of the other spirits we've seen. A strong resistance to magic, as you can see. Strong resistance to physical attacks as well, unless it's a holy weapon. Unfortunately, we don't have any right now. The main thing they will do is they will use Drain and Sap to try to remove all your hit points and AP. The thing to be worried about more is Drain, as it'll take away all your AP. HP is easy enough to heal. Oh, and I did lie. There are some living enemies down here, the Demon Spiders, and they do nothing. This is the only time I ever fought them down here, so I'm pretty sure the encounter rate is very low on these guys. Not that it matters, because they usually run away anyway. Like so. Well, all these dead bodies are still a little worrisome, I must say. Let me saw Father Manson take off. I think we are hot on his trail. What's he trying to hide down here? Apparently nothing with that empty room. However, if we hit this button, the wall moves, and we can go visit the next room. And here we have the Verma. I really think they meant to say these guys are living armor, and it was just an incredibly misguided translation. These guys are frustrating. They're not necessarily difficult, but they do have a pretty good amount of hit points for ghosts and some extra high defense as well. So it'll take time to fight them. That's the only reason they're frustrating. Two things to watch out for are regular attacks, which are decent. They'll do about 50 damage. As well as Curse, which honestly is nothing to worry about. Curse isn't that big of a deal. It's easily taken care of by Bao's heal spell, so you don't have to worry about it. Or if you're like me and they try to curse Ryu, for example, he's got the charm equipped, so it won't do anything. Unfortunately, Bao's not equipped with a charm, so he is cursed. But he's not much of the attacker anyway, so nothing to worry about. Throughout most of this dungeon, I had Bao and Bao and Nina switch back and forth between using the Tiger Sword or using regular heal spells if they needed it. Usually it was just Tiger Sword was enough to use it every turn. By the end of this dungeon, I can pretty much guarantee you that just about everyone will be hurting for AP. Thanks to, well, having to heal a lot, and also thanks to the spirits constantly draining it. So don't worry about don't expect to be using Ryu's dragon magic throughout this dungeon. It's pretty much worthless by the time you need it. Uh-oh, here we have some prisoners now. Sometimes it takes a while for them to actually come to the cells. Thankfully, through editing, we can cut out all that. We can also cut out all the backtracking. But first we have one more new enemy. Main Disaster. I really don't know what they're thinking of for this name. He acts pretty much like the other ghosts we've seen of his palette swaps. The main thing he likes to do is hush people. He's also able to cast Freeze, as well as a regular attack, which does about 30 damage, so nothing to worry about. The Freeze is the most threatening, does about 100 damage. But otherwise, I recommend taking out the spirits first anyway, thanks to their ability to drain all your AP. I said the two worst targets for the spirits to drain would be Ryu and Bao. Actually flip that. Bao and then Ryu. Ryu just because he won't be able to use his dragon magic in any effective capacity. And Bao's the worst target because if he runs out of AP, all your healing goes away except for whatever items you have. That's another reason I try to keep Nina using the Tiger Sword almost exclusively throughout this dungeon, is because you can only use the Tiger Sword in battle as a healing item, and so you may as well stay on top of it while you can. There you go. Ooh, 111. That's an extra powerful freeze. Alrighty. So I'm editing out all the backtracking. Every time you leave this room, you walk back to the two buttons with the arrows, and it makes the hallway longer and longer, and you have to walk back and forth every time. I agree, he is planning something evil. So, we just leave a room, and the next room has the stairways that we want to go down. However, I know I just said I'm cutting out all the backtracking, but I wanted to show this one specifically. Normally, this is the end of the hallway. and that is you want to go down those stairs and you'll continue with the dungeon. However, a little known fact, unless you check some forums and stuff, there is more to this dungeon, some secret stuff that you never see. For whatever reason, I don't know if it was a programming mistake or what, the hallway is normally longer than this, as you can see now. However, you have to stand on the button for more than 2.5 minutes before anything will happen. So most people will not see it, because they'll just stand there and think, oh, the door's not moving, there's nothing else happening. So if we check out this room, there's 5 more rooms after that. So this first one, oh man, it has a brand new enemy, a new secret mini-boss, the Warrior. From what I could see, the Warrior only does one thing over and over, and that is zombie. So he'll try to zombify your party members. The Church of St. Eva is big on zombification. I guess that goes with their... After seeing the grand church, or the town of Everai, I guess you can see where they're coming from. They want to drain your soul. They go down easily enough. They don't give you anything cool either, but it's interesting to see. So the next room has a piece of equipment which I'm not sure if you can get anywhere else. The Star Shield. It's not spectacular, but it's just a little bit better than the blended mail or shields. So you may as well pick it up for that 3 defense. And the next room has Crimson Clothes. We've seen these a long time ago. They're pretty bad. I'm not sure why they're giving you them here. We have 2 new prisoners. I'd put 2 and 2 together by now. I think you know what's going on. You think taking prisoners and whatnot. And in one of the rooms, this is the main reason you want to do this bonus rooms. You can find Sini, the Holy Shaman, earlier. Originally, you're not supposed to be able to get her until you complete a few more story objectives, and then you come back down here and you can find her. But if you do the secret buttons, you get her now. And if you really want to, if you're really patient, you could backtrack, go all the way to your township and shamanize Gene into his super form. But we're not going to mess with that. We're strong enough. We can handle this. By the way, I should have mentioned we're fighting another warrior, but that was pretty obvious as you can watch it happen. Again, they're nothing special, but this was kind of exciting for me when I was recording this, just because until recently I didn't know about these secret rooms until I was doing some research for this recording. So that's a new enemy type I've never seen before. And that's the end of these secret rooms, so we're gonna head on back to the stairway from before, and now we're gonna officially continue on with this dungeon. If you head south and go up these stairs, there's a quick treasure chest with 1,000 coins in it, or 1,000 zenny. Nothing too spectacular, especially at this point, but for the sake of thoroughness, we'll go pick up the treasures. And then just to make sure, because I kind of forgot, there's nothing on the right side. So now we're going to head on north. Notice these hallways are clear now, no more dead bodies. I'm thinking more likely than not this is the place no one knows about, because they haven't killed anyone yet. Definitely, this is looking pretty sinister, and there are still random battles, so don't let your guard down yet. Got unlucky fighting some living armors. They got 2 slams in a row on Ryu, and yeah, it didn't go so well. But that's okay, we got life pills. Alrighty, we'll get one step away from talking to this guy. Gonna finally use some wisdom fruits. Really, Bao probably doesn't need that many, but figured just be safe. Jean doesn't have much magic to be worth it. And I decided to give Ryu full AP in case I wanted to use his dragon magic in the next fights. But ultimately I didn't need it. Alrighty. Well, we have Father Manson cornered now. And once again he's playing innocent. Like most of them do. But something is more sinister afoot. Ooh, okay. Now he's starting to admit he's evil, at least. There we go. Dragon Gem turns black. He's talking about people's hearts being torn up. He's transforming into some sort of skeleton demon. Honestly, I kind of think he looks like almost like a skeleton dragon, but he's a demon. He's not a member of the Dragon Clan. He's telling them the souls give him great power, and he's bringing zombies back to life. So here we have another mini-boss, and a fancy new background. Woohoo! The zombies. Just straight up called zombies. I like that. Even though they look like palette swaps of the corpses and other random enemies we've seen, they are pretty formidable. Also, I was using Angel there just to see if it would work. It doesn't in any of my test runs, but I wanted to try one more time. Angel is basically the death spell except for the undead. If there's an undead enemy, you cast Angel and there's a chance that it'll instantly kill it. So we're gonna boost up everyone's defense and boost up Ryu's offense, and we'll have him start going to town on these guys. The zombies aren't too threatening. They are surprisingly beefy, considering there's 3 of them. It takes a bit of effort to take one down. The main thing they do is sap and drain you, as well as try to zombify you. Drain is more annoying just because, for example, I used all those fruits to get Ryu's AP maxed out, and they already taken it away. So his dragon spells are pretty much unusable now. It wouldn't be worth it to use them. But other than that, they're not too threatening. Their main goal is to weaken you for their master. And she's gonna go ahead and boost up Bao's attack too. However, being the undead, as you may have expected, they are weak to flame. For some reason, that's a fantasy game trope, I guess. Anytime you run into zombies, fire is usually the answer. So we'll have Nina be using flame for the rest of this battle. And then there was one. If you're in bad shape when you get down to 1 zombie left, you can go ahead and have everyone defend for a turn or 2, or just use items. Basically take this time to heal up your party so you're not in critical condition when you end this fight, because you're going to go from one straight to the other without a chance to heal. Some pretty good experience for your trouble. Manson's thanking us. Oh, how can we kill this guy? Anytime we kill something, it just makes their demon god stronger. So now we're fighting Necroman. I believe they meant to call him Necromancer? That'd be my guess. He's intimidating looking, and he's got a lot of hit points. But he doesn't have much going for him. He can be deadly if he wants to. However, he spends a lot of turns using Rotten Breath, as you can see. Or he will use Zombie, which does a little bit of damage, but it's relatively weak. He'll also use sap and drain like most of the other undead do. The main thing you have to worry about is he is able to use death, which can straight up kill anybody. I'm not really sure if your level even matters as far as the chances of death will work. I think it's just a set chance no matter how strong you are. So hopefully you'll be lucky and death will miss. But like I said, he won't cast it too often either. He just likes to curl and uncurl his fingers and smile. Freeze is pretty effective on him if you want to have Nina doing some damage. Ryu is always the damage dealer. I meant Bao. Bao can be put on healing duties if you need it. Anytime someone is inflicted with zombie, go ahead and use cure poison on him, of course. I'm just trying different magic to keep it interesting. Zombify will not work on Ryu. So, other than death, like I mentioned, he's relatively a pushover. It's kind of disappointing. He's such a cool-looking enemy. Plot-wise, I mean, this is definitely a big boss. He could have had some cooler abilities. Or what would have worked well, too, they could have had him use 2 attacks per turn, like August did before. That would have been extra good. He could have used death twice on people or something. I don't know. I feel like they lost some potential with this guy. Bao is trying to pepper him. Pepper him with damage. Go ahead and cure poison. If any of your party members do become zombies, this fight can get tricky, I'll admit that. Once you lose one party member to zombie, he can pretty easily attack one of your other party members and killing them, and then you're down 2 on 2 basically, because you'll have to fight Necroman and your fellow zombie party member. Thankfully we have Bao to keep everyone in tip-top condition. There we go. Big bad death. Unfortunately for him, it did not work. So I'll give him credit, he picked his target well. Ryu is the one that's a threat. God is the king of this world. Well, if there are any doubts in your mind about Saint Eva being an evil, corrupt religion, I think you can put those aside now. He kind of told us that his god is coming, and they've been brainwashing people. And he mentioned using people's souls to summon zombies. Yeah, we're ready to take down this church. Let's go. Similar to leaving the Theives Tomb, you have to go up those stairs first before exit is a usable spell. Kind of weird. There's no enemies on the way back, which is really nice. He cleared out all the spirits. But it's still save time with this exit. Uh-oh. Didn't we just kill Manson? What's going on here? Oh. Okay. So it's Cat in disguise and Taiga. Oh, you guys. Bum, bum, bum. Alrighty, I like the plan. So we've killed the real Manson, and now we're going to take his identity. Taiga and Cat are going to lead us in. tells us to study the teachings of Saint Eva. Right now, Ryu and Cat have a moment. I'm mad that you're staying with Taiga. No, I'm okay with it. She doesn't like that answer, but I figured I'd be honest. We haven't been using her in the party too much, so. This is where you start to get pretty good clues that Cat has feelings for Ryu. So you can decide whether or not Ryu feels the same way. Did I learn the teaching of Saint Eva? No, we just had a scene change. I had no time. When do you expect me to learn this? Alrighty, they put on their disguises. They're gonna go on. So Cat tells us to go to any local branch of the St. Eva Church and donate some money in exchange for the teachings. We're going to have to learn more about this religion. I wanted to check my items real quick to see if I actually had the Evrai Road. It's not an actual item, just from now on we can get in and out of the evil town. But anyway, that is going to be for part 28. Let's see, part 28 we are going to go to Evrai, finally get into the Grand Church. There's going to be some combat, not going to lie. It's going to be pretty intense. We're going to see this titanic clash between the rebel group and the Church of St. Eva. It's going to be good. Alrighty. Well, thank you so much for watching. Tune in for part 28. Have a good one. Later.